Hey guys, it's former inmate Jordan Cahill, 154363. This one's going to be super short. I just want to present a bunch of screenshots to you to show that Captain Timothy Suppes, currently at Lowell Correctional Institution, has a habit of not only bullying in prison and doing all of that, but he also does it on the outside in the public as well. So the backstory to this post, there's a guy in town who has cerebral palsy. This guy is confined to a wheelchair. He is systematically broken. He's poor, and he reached out to the community on a group, again, called Ocala, Almost Anything Goes, looking for help with a wheelchair. Not knowing he had posted to this group, Ocala Almost Anything Goes, which is actually an underground bully site. You cannot find it by regular search on Facebook or a search engine. You have to be invited into the group, and the privacy settings are as such because of all of the bullying and the bullshit that they put people through in. So instead of anyone acting like a normal person and actually helping this guy get a damn wheelchair, they started mocking him. And so Jeremy McCurdy, who used to work at Mattress One in Ocala, on August 15th, 2018, made another post mocking Timothy. And the first person to jump on there was Captain Timothy Suppes, mocking a disabled man that has cerebral palsy. I'm pretty sure that him and his wife, Becky Jane, have enough money that they could have helped out with a little wheelchair from like Goodwill or something, right? But instead, true to form, Timothy Suppes, the big fat bald-headed bully that he is, decided he wanted to fuck with a disabled person. So, August 15th, 2018, I forwarded the screenshots to Mattress One for Jeremy McCurdy, and I also called a total of 7 times to Lowell Main Unit, to the warden's office, to the tower, to classification, and kept getting hung up on to report this incident. Despite the fact that I notified them that there was also anti-Semitic memes and humor being posted in this group that Timothy Suppes was a part of, nobody seemed concerned. Mattress One gave me their email, but Lowell Correctional did not. And I have electronic and verifiable proof that I called Lowell Correctional on that day for that purpose, to turn in an incident report against Timothy Suppes for being a public official bullying a disabled man online. And I think it's absolutely apropos that they shared Holocaust and Jewish-based memes in an anti-Semitic way, because Lowell is literally like a concentration camp at times. And no, I'm not referring to the border wall being like a concentration camp, but Lowell genuinely is, because they refuse you food, they refuse you water, they refuse you medical attention, and they assault you at will. And again, I have verifiable proof that on that day, at that time, I did call Lowell Correctional in regards to Timothy Suppes and his anti-Semitic humor and bullying of a disabled man in town. I did notify the DOJ and the OIG today that that report was made by me, and so it will be confirmed whether or not his supervisor turned it in. Also involved in these underground bullying groups is loser, fat-ass former Sergeant Brian Groves, who, which I did not note in my original video, was actually under investigation by the inspector in the Office of Inspector General, Inspector Munnerlin to be exact, for inmate Misty, I won't say her last name, EOSing, and you moving her directly into your home. And when Miss Munnerlin showed up at your home and Misty answered the door, Misty called you, and you were at work on the annex, and you immediately walked off compound and quit your job. Literally, every other male that I have named, I have countless women who have contacted me and notified me to also give their number to the DOJ, the OIG, and any other governing agency regarding the fact that they want to report abuse that all of you guys did to them, every single one of you. So again, if there are any other former inmates or family or friends of current inmates who are being abused and you need to make a report, please contact me. It can be done confidentially until they're released. Please contact me. I'm going to be working on interviewing some of the women that are still local to Marion County. Even if that requires hiding their confidentiality on screen or putting a blocker or whatever on there, this is going to be exposed. It's not going to stop. And Lowell, you need to get y'all shit together. And FYI to those at Lowell, any of the officers right now that are currently trying to roll over their pension plan into their 401k are about to dip out. Because living with 2 former sergeants, I know that's the gig. They find out they're under investigation, so they roll their pension plan into their 401k, and then they resign so that they get to keep all of that money. And one other shame, shame, shame. All of you out there bashing us former inmates, accusing us of lying, being manipulative, being coercive, being all of these things, seductive and whatnot. What we now have today, on September 11th, 2019, are several former officers and correctional staff that worked at Lowell who are now corroborating not only the events that we are talking about, but so many more, including lieutenants and captains forcing you to falsify documentations, captains calling you out in group meetings with other officers, telling these other officers that you are now inmate friendly and to watch out for you. Medical mishaps in Lowell, it's all coming out. So continue, please, please, please continue. For anybody that doesn't like how I say what I say when I say it, I am sorry. It is simply who I am. But I make no apologies about what I have said. Keep exposing these shitbags. Please keep exposing the entire corruption that's going on there, the medical malpractice, the medical mistreatment, all of it. All of it. Sexual abuse, physical abuse, contraband being brought in, threats being made to you. Please continue to share it. I'm documenting literally everything. If you want me to pass your phone number on to DOJ, OIG, or anybody else that I'm in contact with, I will. I will not disclose your confidentiality for any reason whatsoever. But if you want help and an outlet to speak, I can help you. I will help you. And Becky Jane, wife to Timothy Suppes, captain at Lowell Correctional, you may be wondering, how did I get wrapped up in this? Well, that would be because if there was an award for worst female correctional officer, you would fucking win. Because if you recall, I had been an inmate for years when you came in for your training. You were nice, you were kind, you were helpful, you helped guide inmates. You actually did your job. Then you got certified and started dating Timothy Suppes, and that's where it all went fucking downhill. Have you ever seen the movie Mommy Dearest? Because if you haven't, you should. Because the contempt and hatred and disdain that this woman has for her own children is literally exactly how you treated every single one of us. And you're not clear from abuse in prison, are you? And you're not clear from abuse in prison. You've been abusing inmates as well. You not moved because you ended up punching a handcuffed inmate? And I'll just tell you my own personal experience with your wretched ass. I went to the visitation park every weekend. If there was 2 days in a visit weekend, I had 2 visits that weekend. If there was 3 days, I usually had 3, and sometimes from multiple family members throughout that weekend. And one specific day, in fact, this was after Sergeant J. Ray had sexually assaulted me twice in the same VP, that I finished my visit, and every other visit that I was there for, I always stayed to the end because my family stayed to the end, and I always helped cleaning. However, this day, there was like an hour to go, and you would not release me, and for no reason, and I was tired, and I didn't want to be sexually assaulted, so I wanted to go back to my dorm. And I didn't have to tell you all that, and you didn't have to know all that, because you were just being spiteful. You were just being mean, because there was like 20, 30 inmates still in there. And so when you stripped me out, you then accused me of bringing in contraband to the prison. And when I got upset about that, you threatened to put me in confinement. Because not one day ever did I introduce anything onto that compound. I visited my family, my blood family. So to further add injury to insult, you made me cough and squat 3 additional times, which is disgusting. And then standing outside the VP, inside the inmate park, you sat there and told me the next time you'd put me in cuffs and take me to confinement. We have so many accounts of you and your husband being abusive to inmates throughout all of your years at DOC. Every single time, somebody lets me know something that happened, I'm documenting it, and if they give me permission, I'm sharing it, and I don't care how this affects your personal lives. It is what it is.